Welcome to my channel. My name is Alex, and this is a channel about guitars, gear, music, and other related topics. And today's topic is brand loyalty. Do you love your gear? Do you love the logo on the headstock, the history, and the music you made on it? But here's the cold hard truth. The brand you're loyal to does not love you back. The people that used to love there, that they used to work there, they don't work there anymore. And so what is left for that original company that you have so much invested in? Today we're talking about how guitar giants and corporate monoliths are actively testing just how much abuse their core audience will take before walking away. So before I start talking about the guitar industry, I just want to, this is not an isolated problem with just the guitar scene only. Of course, this happens everywhere. It's just that we being musicians and people that are creative, sometimes we tend to be more inclined to stick with something that we feel is part of a bigger community. Like, I love my Fender guitars, having the Fender headstock there. It makes me feel a part of history. Gibson and all these companies. And don't get me wrong, some of the stuff that I'm gonna touch here has to do with pricing and how that's affected the audience, right? The musicians and the customers. However, I know price increases are sometimes are needed, and also I know that you will be loyal to certain companies as long as they are giving you value back, right? I'll give you an example. Let me disconnect this. I have a Line 6 HX stomp right here. And of course, they're not sponsoring me or nothing, just a small channel. But you see, HX stomp. I bought this unit when this unit was already old, right? It was already old news, old technology. However, and I hold on to buying it for a couple of years because I thought the new one was gonna come out, and maybe that's the case, like pretty close to it. But Line 6 has consistently updated the firmware and the sounds and the value on this unit. I love that it has so many inputs and outputs. You can use it in many situations. I wish I had this when I was playing back when I was playing. I used to be a worship musician, so this would have been great because the sounds on it are great. Even if we were gonna use amplifiers, which back then I was using, this can be implemented into the amplifier. You can add other units on it. I just love the ins and outs of it. And I love that the company didn't just like created that product and just left it stranded. So therefore, yeah, I will check out Line 6 products when they come out. However, that doesn't mean that I'm just gonna give them a pass to whatever they do, right? Also, their parent company, Yamaha, I got really good experiences with them. So I'm just want to set the record straight that I'm just not a corporate hater or nothing like that. Well then. Okay, so first of all, imagine you owning a hardware or a property, in this case an item, something like a car, and the car having things built into it that are there that you already paid for pretty much, but you can't use them. You can't use these features. And this is all news right now, and I even think the company backtracked on it, but way back when, BMW was in a controversy because they were charging a subscription, and maybe they still are. I'm really not up to date with this, for heating the seats in your car. So imagine that, having a car with heating seats that you gotta pay a subscription for. And a lot of companies are going for this. Like right now I'm using a MacBook computer, right? Because I like the Apple's software suite, like Logic and whatnot. Um, and I was writing some notes in, let's say, Pages, which is Apple's version of Word. Each time I go into one of these apps, it asks me if I want the new version. You know what the new version is? A subscription service. No, I do not want the new version. It's annoying. I wish there was a way that I could just shut that down. If there is, I don't know. If any of you know, please leave it in the comments down below. It's just super annoying. I pay for a product, and like for example, Pages, I believe I got it for free as part of the whole Apple suite. But I did pay for Logic. Like I paid $200 for it, and now every time I go in, it asks me if I want the new version, which again is a subscription service. No, I don't want the new version. I don't want whatever AI thing they're putting on it. I'm not against AI. I mean, 100% or to use it as a tool, but no, I don't want that. I want to pay a subscription. I want to buy this. I already paid for your software, and I don't want to keep on paying for it. But okay, I'm going a little bit off a topic, but the thing is that they do things that kind of alienate customers, and they don't mind because they feel like they will get new people, and in that way they don't feel anything for you. They don't have any loyalty for you. So why should you have it for them? Okay. So yeah, it says that they made a U-turn controversial subscription service that saw drivers pay a fee to activate the heated seats already fitted to their car. So it's not like they're going to install you new hardware in there, or they're going to add some sort of, I don't know, whatever it needs to heat your car, right? It's that it's there already, and they're just going to push a button so you can use it, something that's already in your car. First announced in 2020, the subscription was intended to be one of many ways to offer flexibility to our customers, who could opt in to pay for vehicle functions when it's suited to them, then stop paying when they were no longer wanted. How about just have them, because the customer already paid for the car? I don't think they're going to be putting this, installing these on the car, see if they weren't already allotted to the price that they put on it. How about having them there, and the customer will decide when they need it or not? Don't need to contact you or pay you an additional fee for that. But instead of options like increased electric guitar, but instead of options like increased electric car performance, as was later offered by Mercedes, or other technology-driven functions like autonomous parking or a 5G data connection, BMW drew criticism for charging a subscription for heated seats already installed at the factory. Yeah, that would have made sense. If you want like a 5G data plan or something, yeah, you can have the antenna already connected in the car to receive the signal, but they can offer you a service for that. Now, though BMW will no longer offer such a service, speaking to Autocar this week, BMW's board member for sales and marketing, Peter Noda, said, "We actually are now focusing with those functions on demand, on software and services related products, like driving assistance and parking assistance, which you can add later after purchasing the car, or for certain functions that require data transmission that customers are used to paying for in other areas." So pretty much they want to monetize how you drive and how safe you are, and I guess and other functions. I guess some sort of navigation system, enhanced navigation system, they can monetize it, even though most people will just use their phone. They can have monetized radio, basically, like satellite radio, but something that's in the car already. I mean, I don't know. Another case, and this is by far one of the worst cases, because there's something that's already in the car and it's always been basic to the use of a car. But another case is when you as a customer have supported a company and pretty much have built it up of where it is, and right now they're talking about like taking you out of the equation or alienating you, as has happened with some forms of entertainment. In this case, I'm talking about wrestling. The company that owns UFC and also owns WWE, TKO, uh, not so long ago, I think this was a couple of months ago, or maybe last year, uh, admitted that they are no longer pricing for families to go in. Wrestling is not it's not a competitive sport. It's something that it's predetermined, right? I mean, they pretty much they do a show and you watch the show and you either decide to go there or not. But there's a lot of people that enjoy it and would like to keep on going. They used to go with their families. You will take the kids out, maybe eat a hot dog, drink a soda, just some fun family time. So this company, it's making it into something that is more like a lifestyle, upper class, upper what you say? They're just making the tickets more expensive. WWE executive admits no interest in giving families affordable ticket prices. That sounds harsh. So if you go here, in this part right here, it's what he actually said, right, in quotes. WWE is not where the UFC yet is on ticket yield. We have our work to do there. We know we have a lot of room there because Vince McMahon was primarily, when Vince McMahon was the previous owner, was primarily pricing tickets for families and wasn't totally focused on maxing the opportunity there. In other words, they think he was pricing the tickets too cheap, or he let a lot of room for like anybody that could go and watch a wrestling event. Now that we've seen what we can do with UFC, we're replicating that in terms of ticket yield and holding back and advance sales when it comes to on location on the WWE side. And it's working out really well. So it's not working out so well because and I'm happy that people are just voting with their wallets. It's in this case, I mean, it just comes out. It just comes out as, oh, you know what? The people that used to be the customers here, we don't want you here anymore. We don't care about you. And I know it's a business, of course. It's not a. They're not there to to give things for free or just to, they made an investment in a business and they need to get their money back. I understand that completely. However, just to kind of look down on the people like that, on the families and like pricing out people kind of rubs me the wrong way. And so recently they have not been selling out their events like they were because they priced their tickets too much. They're way too expensive. So it's kind of getting them, biting them in the where. So how about a company that's so cocky and so sure that they're gonna like just sell anything that comes out because they've been producing some pretty good software before, and they just say that you gotta get used to not owning what you buy. So in this case, I'm talking about Ubisoft. So, and this wasn't this year. It's like a couple of years ago. The executive says gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games for subscriptions to take off. So, and I believe he's here. He's talking about, okay, the expansion. This is the important part here. So, because I want to read exactly what he says, in quotes here. One of the things we saw is that gamers are used to a little bit like DVD, having and owning their games. Isn't that funny? Seeing a corporate person talking about, oh, people are used to owning what they buy. That's the consumer shift that needs to happen. They got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. He's talking about streaming services like Spotify or Netflix. That's a transformation that's been a bit slower to happen in games. As gamers grow comfortable in that aspect, you don't lose your progress. If you resume your game at another time, your progress file is still there. That's not being deleted. You don't lose what you've built in that game on your engagement with the game. So it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. Yeah. So pretty much he's saying, okay, we the media, the big interest already got people used to not owning music, not owning the albums they buy, and not owning the movies they watch, right? When they pay full price for them. So now we gotta get them comfortable with not owning the video games. The problem with that is any changes to the game that they do, because sometimes they lose licenses, agreements, like they expire. So it's not if, it's like kind of when this license expires, your game is highly altered. Sometimes you lose parts, music, the whole game can be lost. Sony recently deleted many movies from the people who bought it on their PlayStation platform. So you bought those movies there, you lost them. They're not offering any refunds, by the way. So it's like making sure that you are not used to the ownership. The okay, I pay for this, therefore I own it. They want you to, okay, I pay for this, I used it, and I'm gonna keep on using it until you tell me when can I when I stop using it. And they want that to happen with games too. They already did it with music and movies, and why not games? At some point, there was the gaming company also, Xbox, their parent company Microsoft, who was coming out with the Xbox One. This was in 2013, right? So when they were coming with that back then, their new console, their spokesperson said that they wanted the Xbox One to be connected to the internet all the time, and they wanted the secondhand market to die. They don't want it to. They don't want it you like again with the ownership. They don't want you to get your game and that you could sell it to another person. The way that will work is that you will put the game in the console, and the console will get like a license off of it, and then you pretty much the disc was worthless after that. So it's pretty much goes hand to hand with what's happening with the other company too. That's what all of them are pivoting to. And back then it was Xbox in 2013. Now, what happened was like back then, um, people weren't ready for that, and I don't know if they're ready right now. So what happened was like people got upset about not losing the ability to own their games, to be able to trade or sell their games, or to just like giving them to somebody, and having the console connected all the time on the internet. I've been in situations that I don't have any internet for like days. Like I lose power back home every other day. And also, I've lived in houses that I just don't have internet. I just have the internet on my phone, and that's it. And this company wanted you, Xbox, to have that console connected all the time. And Sony, PlayStation, kind of like beat them in that generation of the market, with allowing you to borrow your games from your friend, and like giving them the ability to play them offline. So you could see like people were still craving to the ownership. But one thing that the Xbox guy said was, which is my point here in this video, he said, if people cannot afford buying the Xbox One because it was going to be $500 back then, and cannot do not want to be connected all the time to the internet, we have a product for that, and it's called the Xbox 360. So he was saying, okay, if you don't want to get in the bandwagon with us, we have the old console that you've been using all this time. You can still use that one. Pretty much that's what he meant. Um, Funny enough, Sony, who were the people who kind of like catered to what the customers wanted back then, uh, now in this year, uh, they announced that they were gonna stop making physical media, and that has a lot of customers rile up because a lot of us still buy physical media. Sony says that it's roughly 15%, but that's been proven that it's not true. It's more like 25%. And I don't know you, but or my math is wrong or something. But I think 25% is a good chunk of your user base, right? I would think, right, or your customers. 25% of your business is a bold move. Even 15, heck, I mean, yeah. So one thing that the Sony person said, I don't remember which one it was. Uh, I want to read exactly what he says. But basically, he said like, okay, if people leave and they don't wanna buy just digital games, that's fine. We're gonna get new customers, or we're gonna make so much money from the customers we keep, then it doesn't matter. Like if the others leave. Therefore, again, back to the point of the video, the company doesn't care about you. They don't care about you receiving the services that you're paying for. They don't care about you if they price you out, if they leave you behind. They don't care. I mean, there's not people. There might be people there that work that have the passion to create games. In our case, create guitars and instruments and music. But there's there's people that are just there to make money, and they oversee the people with the passion. I don't know if I'm explaining myself right, but yeah, like the bottom line is the most important part, not the creative part, and not the customer, not making the customer feel like they're getting a quality product, right? Now, if people squeeze enough and they feel the burn, they feel like they're not getting to the bottom line they wanted to get, then they will pivot and try to see where they can fix it, and they might give the customers what the customer is demanding. Uh, okay. Okay. Also, this will also alienate the used market. It will totally eliminate it, and it will like block out the stores that have that sell video games too. So it's also kind of like destroying whatever is left of small businesses that deal with this type of media and brick and mortar stores. Now, it's easy to look at a giant tech conglomerate and expect that kind of detached corporate behavior. But what happens when the exact same corporate playbook gets applied to the industry built on soul, craftsmanship, community, uh, like Fender, right? I have heard that Fender wasn't a musician, and he was like an inventor, a person that will create stuff. However, he was very in touch with musicians and the community, and he just wanted to create a product that will solve a lot of musicians' issues, right? So he never stopped doing that. He always worked trying to improve on his concept, right? Now, the Fender of now is not the Fender of yesterday. It has been tried to be uh, first of all, it's too big. It's very big. It has a lot of companies. I did a whole video about the Fender family. You can check it out. And there's a company that oversees them too. And I believe they are one of the most easy to increase their prices whenever. I'm not saying there's a need, just whenever they can, they increase the prices as much as like 30%, 40%. I mean, they go hard on it. Like a couple of years back, a guitar that was $500, now it's like $800. It's something that I find ridiculous. And they are going. They're still carrying in the Fender legacy, which is huge. I mean, some of the best players, if not the best players in the industry, have played Fender. You know the names, Jimmy and Stevie and all of those. But right now, instead of like improving their craftsmanship, improving the value proposition, I'm sorry, improving their value, improving on features that the customers want, they they just like been sending cease and desist letters to companies that are actually giving the players that are listening to players, listening to the community, and are putting these features in instruments that sometimes are like 40% cheaper than Fender. You know, same materials and better specs and better sometimes better parts too, and or similar, just about the same quality for just way less price. And Fender has been sending cease and desist letters to them based on like legal rulings and just like trying to keep the small builder out. They have also gone to like big companies and tell them you gotta stop making this guitar that looks like ours. And of course, we're talking about the Stratocaster, right? They're going out against like Parkcasters assemblers and U.S. boutique builders, and it's just something that I think it creates a very bad PR for them. Of course, they're not thinking about their customers because, of course, I mean, most people, I feel like most people that buy a Strat copy eventually will buy a Strat. If you put enough value in there and enough care on your product, and just not make so many guitars out of just the same thing with the same color. So every now and then, what they'll do is just give you a color. They'll just give you like a green. They have a green that every now and then they'll pull out every couple of years, and they'll sell tons of guitars, right? So instead of doing that, giving the customer a product that the customer if feels proud of owning, feels okay with paying more money for. Let's say you go with one of these guitars, let's say Harley Benton or one of those, right? And you have a Strat copy. I assure you, if a person is happy with a Strat copy, eventually he will buy a Fender, if the value is there, if they can see that it's worth the upgrade, right? If there's even an upgrade to begin with, because if they're just getting the same thing, why will they upgrade? That's just my thing, right? Why will they upgrade if their old guitar probably feels better or the same as the Fender, and it costed them way less? Just doesn't make any sense. And you can tell me, okay, the resale value on those Fender copies or those Strat style guitars are not that great. But what does it matter if I buy a guitar and it costs me $800? When I'm gonna sell it, what I'm gonna sell it for? $600, $500? I just lost $300 to $400, right? I didn't remember. If it was $800, it's $300, right? It depends on how much it costs you plus tax. Now, if I buy a guitar similar to that one and it costs me $450, and then I gotta sell it for like, oh my God, it lost so much value. Let's say I sell it for $200. I lost $250. I still lose about the same than with the Fender, maybe less. So I mean, that argument is sometimes it just doesn't pound out. Now, if Fender, if you will see, even if you don't see the upgrading, the $300, even if it doesn't merit the $300 more or the 350 more than the Fender costs you, a person, because it says Fender, if it is at least somewhat better, that you can feel like you know what, I'll pay, yeah, I'll pay a little bit for the brand, and I'll pay for the part that is the upgrade, because we know once we start paying more money with guitars, it's diminishing returns anyway. So, but Fender isn't the only giant using legal muscle and heritage status to squeeze the market, by the way. If Fender's trying to own the chase, Gibson took it a step further with declaring war on anyone who didn't play authentic back in the day. Like in 2019, Gibson had a Play Authentic campaign. Now, this was more about, I think they sued, what was it, Dean, right? They sued Dean. They also sued, before that, they had sued PRS for their single cut model, even though the PRS is one of the guitars that looks the less like a Les Paul than the other ones. I know it's still kind of like a Les Paul, but it looks less than a Les Paul than other Les Paul's inspired guitars. So bear with me. So they sued Dean because of the flying V shape, and they were talking about Play Authentic. So apparently if it didn't hurt their bottom line, or they didn't feel like it was creating a ding in their sales, they wouldn't have done this campaign. So here's the thing: Gibson says that, but then they price their instruments out of their products, they price their instruments out of the customers. They make it impossible for a musician to buy their products. Like a Les Paul, like how much is a Les Paul Standard right now? You know what? Let me check. Les Paul Standard. I just want to see what's the regular price for a Les Paul Standard. That's it. Okay, so it fluctuates from $2,800 to $3,000. And sometimes they go on sale, I know that, but it's $3,000. So, okay, so that's the thing. I mean, you when you say Play Authentic, it kind of means like not affordable, not necessarily cheap, but the affordable, that you can buy it. You can make an investment and buy a quality product. That's fine. But if you're gonna increase the price to a point that people just can't buy authentic, I mean, they can't play authentic, right? Now, at some point, Gibson, and I don't agree with that exactly to a point, but at some point, people were complaining a lot about Gibson's quality, right? So if there are complaints out there, and people are saying that you don't have a consistent quality control, how are you going to be raising prices, right? How are you going to be upset that people are not buying your authentic product? And I get it. If you do an invention, or if you come up with something that you own it, you don't want people to copy it and just make a cheaper version. Of course, I understand. Anybody will be upset at that. But then you gotta make it that people can buy your product. Because even the people that are loyal or want to buy authentic, or just don't wanna they don't want to give money to people who are copying products. Even those people will, because they cannot buy your product. So it kind of feels like at some point Gibson was positioning their guitars, at least their USA version guitars, as a luxury lifestyle item, rather than just like a practical working tool. So, and there's a lot of durability concerns about like the headstocks in the Gibson. Like that angle is just something. I know it's traditional, and all that. But and there are Gibson guitars that have lasted for years. What I tell my friends, because I do have Gibson guitars, is that, well, I mean, this is an instrument. It is made so that you take care of it, and you kind of like it's not a baseball bat, right? For you to like bang it everywhere, but accidents happen, and if you pay $2,000 to $3,000 for an instrument, you want it to be durable, and you want it to have it. You want it to be a generational item. Honestly, if it's for that, I mean, you want it to pass it on to your child, or to your, or sell it across later. You don't want to be so careful with it that you don't get to like play it on the road or something. Like, I know, like, and I'm gonna say something good about Fender. You wanna carry a guitar around on the go, that you are just a regular, not the one that I use, that the headless one, but like a regular guitar, a Telecaster. I mean, you carry a Telecaster anywhere, they're almost bulletproof. I mean, you can carry them anywhere. They don't get damaged. They don't get. I mean, what I mean is that it's really hard to like destroy a Telecaster. I mean, sometimes they look even cooler when they get all the dings and stuff. So I mean, that's something that Gibson didn't take into account, or maybe they did and just didn't care about their customers. Um, there are luxury brands out there. I understand that. Like a company doesn't have to make a product for me if I cannot afford it, right? But a brand like Collins is a luxury brand. They make a guitar very similar to a Gibson. It's just very expensive because there's a lot of care, a lot of craftsmanship that goes into it, a lot of hours. I mean, in American workers that put hours in there, that's expensive. So yeah, they gotta charge you, and it's a luxury item. You know, you're paying for a Collins. It's like you can buy a Camry, or you can buy the Camry's version in the Lexus brand, right? In the Lexus, you get the Lexus. It has the luxury. It has the seats. The radio is better. The roof might be better. Everything is just a little bit better than in the Toyota version, right? But that's the way I see it. Like, the Gibson is the guitar. The Collins is the luxury version. And I don't even think it's the same company, and even Gibson themselves, they make their own luxury versions, and Fender does as well. They do the custom chop, right? And that way you get the guitar the way you want it, and they put lots of hours in craftsmanship into that product. Therefore, it's a luxury item, but you know what you're getting into. So, I mean, if Gibson want people to use more their instruments, they gotta find a way to do something with the prices. A company like Paul Smith, I've always seen them kind of like a luxury item, because I don't even, how much is a core, the core instruments? Paul Smith Custom 24. Okay, this is the regular price. I don't know about that. So the regular price that I'm seeing here, over $4,000. Wow. Of course, you can go used, which is what I would recommend people to do. Find a good condition used guitar. But there's sales for $3,600. That's a lot of dough. See, I've always seen the core PRSs as luxury items. And people throw a lot of dirt at Fender because of the pricing and Gibson. But what they're doing with the PRS SEs, they are pricing them like they're going high in their prices too. However, with the PRS SEs, at least I don't see that many people like complaining about quality issues, and they have like improved their products a lot. Like you can see every generation, they improve their product, so they make it better to kind of like justify their price increase a little bit. So, where does that leave us musicians and consumers? When the biggest brands in the world treat heritage like a luxury tax, it's time to stop shopping with our eyes and start shopping with our ears. And that's my take for today. If you find any value in this content, please leave a like and subscribe. And don't forget to check out the tag products. Thank you for listening.